Son of a bitch, Jake the Snake. Jake the Snake. Got me fired, Jake the Snake. No, I don't know who did. Let's not worry about that right now. Let's not worry about that. Actually, no, that's what we're talking about here. How's it going, guys? Wow, I could have done my hair, but jobless. So what's the point? Have no job now. Have no job. So there is another YouTuber that's just going to be begging for money because he don't have a job. Yay. So if I start grifting hard, I start getting on my knees and begging for money, you know why. Let me just take this off the screen. As lovely as she is. What I'm going to do is get a cardboard box and just start begging. I might as well just write, please donate on this box, on some sort of cardboard, right? Please donate. Need food. Need to pay for cigars and alcohol. Jesus Christ. It's bullshit. And we'll get into it. Jake the Snake. It rhymes so you know it's right. And I'm streaming here. I could be streaming on the other channel where I do get super chats and stuff, but I don't get super chats anyway. But this channel needs to grow. We're almost there. I hate this new phase of me, and immediately it's happened within a day. So yes, I used to work for Child Protective Services here in Texas. I was a investigator. I was I worked for Child Protective Services in Texas for 7 years. 7 years, and it goes away. It goes away in like less than a week. It has nothing to do with internet drama, as much as people would like to say. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the nature of the job and how, like, it doesn't take much. Like, all it takes really is a build of a lack of trust and suspicion. And if I was in their shoes, I probably would have done the same thing. I was mad. I was really mad about all this first. So okay. Try to make this as organized as I can. When I was initially hired, I was an investigator. I did that for about 6 years. And in 2 of the years, about 3 or 2 of the years, I was an alternative response worker, which is still an investigator, but it's just a different type of handling with cases. My salary was public. The Dymo, I don't know, he doxed me, which is public information. I mean, you can go find out right now. You can go, because I worked for the state. My information was public information. I gotta tell you though. It's a relief of stress. Like, I used to be so stressed and have so much anxiety worrying about making timely appointments, making sure the kids were safe, checking up on everything. Now I don't have to worry. I think something's wrong with my internet. I think I'm still screwed or getting DDoS or something, because things are not going right. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Okay. Let me show you guys something. Yeah, if you go to Texas Tribune, they will show you all the salaries and stuff. Okay. I was making $60,000 a year. So what I need to do, guys, I was making $60,000 a year, and all that's gone. $60,000 a year is gone. What I need from you is to help me make that much money again. What do I have to do? Do I have to dance around? Do I have to be your monkey? Huh? Do I have to do what you want, chat? I'm gonna start out OnlyFans. I'm gonna start out OnlyFans. Oh God. Oh God dang it. My kids should never know how I paid for their Minecraft maps or their PS5 or their Xbox Series X, whatever they call it, you know. They don't need to know how Dad paid for that stuff. They just need to know that Dad provided. Hey, donate a certain amount and you too can be part dad of my kids. That's where we are. That's where we are. Think about it. 60,000 is gone. So within, what do you think my expenses are? Within 2 to 3 months, if things don't change, we're gonna be on the street. We're gonna be on the street. We're gonna be bums. It'd be great. A family of bums. Lovely. I love this future. I love this reality. I'll pay $1 for each raw onion you eat. Oh God, that's gonna be hard. We hate Texas CPS. Well, I do too now. I do too. You know, as an ex Texas CPS worker, I'm like, you know, one thing it could also do is hit up all the families I used to work with, and if they did know a dealer, if they were involved in drugs, be like, hey, well, connect me with your dealer. I can run some stuff, you know. Okay. All right. So what happened? I'm gonna tell you the short version, but it's bullshit, and then we'll get into it. Okay? You can believe what you want to believe. You guys, you know, I can't change your mind. You'll believe what you want to believe. Let's drink a black coffee, by the way. They believe, when I say they, my supervisor and the program director and this other caseworker that worked a case that I had worked before, believe that I had falsified documentation, which is a big no-no on a case that I closed. Huge no-no. I worked there for 7 years. I have a lot on the line. I'm not going to play around with that sort of stuff because that would be extremely that would be extremely stupid and extremely dangerous. And what could just make contacts. How did this come about? Well, about 2 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, I worked this case. I'm not going to reveal the name or anything. Worked this case where there was concerns that this 14-year-old is diabetic and doesn't have her insulin. She's diabetic and doesn't have her insulin. And she had prior history of self-harm. But that was something that was investigated before, and it was found that she was fine. Actually, she got mental health treatment and all that stuff. So when I had the case, I found that the child's still living with the grandmother, with her sibling. The mom isn't really in the picture. The child tried living with the dad, but that didn't work. She felt like a stranger in the home because the dad was been in prison all his life for the most part. So she went back to live with the grandmother. I spoke with the grandmother and the kids and the mom. That part's important. And the mom there at the grandmother's house where the grandmother and the kids live. And one thing we talked about was her insulin. Now, I know nothing really much about being diabetic because I'm not diabetic. But the 14-year-old was able to tell me everything and show me how she knows, demonstrate that she knows how to work the pump that she has, and all these different pins and stuff. And as far as the supply of the insulin, well, the grandmother had concerns that there wasn't any Medicaid. The grandmother was repeatedly concerned that there wasn't any Medicaid, and she thought that the dad had the Medicaid or tried to claim it, which is not true. I found that out. I told her, look, I'll look into it. I looked into it. I spoke with the ladies in the Medicaid office, whatever, food stamp office. We work in the same building. And was found out that, Grandma, you had Medicaid this whole time. Like, you have Medicaid. Yeah, so go see your doctor. Go where you need to go to get more insulin, okay? Because you have Medicaid, and that's going to help you out there. So that was done. I mean, yeah, there's concerns about her lack of insulin, but they already had a good supply of insulin, and they have the Medicaid, and they know how to get it. Well, case closed, everything's fine. Now, case reopens. A new intake comes in because the 14-year-old went to the hospital because her insulin pump wasn't working. Went to the hospital because she ran out of insulin. Which for a type 1 diabetic could be death. So, holy shit. When the caseworker contacted me about that, I was like, well, I mean, the grandmother has Medicaid. I don't understand why she didn't get the insulin. She has no excuse. Like, I wouldn't play around with her anymore. Maybe we need to consider some other things, like, I don't know, locating with another caregiver or something. But I learned this from that caseworker, is that the grandmother was telling people in the hospital that I never helped her, that that I never helped her with the Medicaid information. I never helped her with anything at all. I was like, what are you talking about? That's a lie from Jump Street. And then it came out later on. My supervisor was asking me questions, and this is how I knew something was going to go down. She asked me, like, did you make contact with the mom? I was like, yeah. Yeah, the mom was at the meeting. The mom was at the assessment, the family assessment. We're hearing otherwise. We're hearing that she wasn't there. The mom's saying you weren't there, and the grandmother's saying you weren't there. I was like, well, I mean, I didn't just make it all up. I mean, you know, it's weird because the grandmother's lying too. She's saying I didn't even talk to her, help her with the Medicaid. You remember I was in your office talking to you about the Medicaid stuff. It gets worse. When I guess the worker decided to ask the kids again too. I suppose. I don't know. I'm sure how they found this information. But the kids claimed that I didn't talk to them. So now it looks like I just made everything up. Like I knew about their life in and out and whatever, you know, because my documentation was very thorough. It was a family assessment documentation. It was like, what it reads when you're reading it is like this complicated script where everyone's kind of talking at the same time about the particular questions that I ask, and it kind of goes through a flow. And we're talking about very important information that I wouldn't know if I wasn't there. But you have it where the mom, the grandma, and now the kids saying that I wasn't there. I never even talked to them. I just made it all up. And I've worked for this department for 7 fucking years. 7 goddamn years. I had no defense. I had no defense other than my documentation. Because it's not like we record those sessions. We record the interviews with the kids when we talk to them privately, yes. But we don't record like the family assessments, whatever. We don't do that. Maybe we should. Maybe we should have it where everyone signs a piece of paper or whatever. Well, what's going to happen is that caseworker who has it now, when they close that case, that grandmother's going to go around and fucking lie on her ass too. Bullshit. I'm a little pissed. What race were they? They were white. They were fucking white. The grandmother was fucking lazy. Looking back on it now, she was lying from the get-go. She was trying to say that it was the dad that claimed the Medicaid, and so that stopped her from being able to go to the hospital to get more insulin. Bullshit, she had the Medicaid the whole fucking time. You know, it's a sort of job where and I understand why. I want to say it is a job where you could do the right thing and you can document and you can be honest about it. But if someone, like, let's say a reporter says, no one ever contacted me, be like, no, the screener contacted you. That was documented. I contacted you. That was documented. I left a voicemail. It doesn't matter. If someone calls and puts a little bit of doubt in there, it is then, oh, well, then you need to start doing it. I don't know why you're not doing it. It's like, I did it, but I understand why. Because as people know, especially people who really hate Texas CPS, it is fucked. There are so many shady ass fucking workers there, which is why probably some of you probably may not even believe what I'm saying, which I totally understand. I get it. When you're working with CPS, you're a fucking viper. You're a fucking snake. You will tell a family that you mean well and all that stuff. Meanwhile, knowing that at any time if something were to go south, it's time to take certain actions. And they might be overreactions. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I had situations where I had to talk to this mom about Munchausen's by proxy. You know, where you're faking, you're using your daughter to fake that you're using your daughter, faking that she has some sort of illness, insisting that she has some sort of illness when she may not have an illness for some financial benefit or, reward or whatever. That case was convoluted and bullshit. Dude, the dad and the mom wanted to punch me in my face at the hospital when I told them, like, yeah, we're going to do the safety plan and we're going to prevent you from having access to the kid. That's what we're going to do. They could have just got a lawyer, honestly. I even told the dad during that meeting, it's like, I could see on the face that you want to punch me in my face. But I told him, look, I told him, what'd I say? I said, either sign this here, we do the safety plan, or I staff for a removal. I'm surprised he didn't fucking murder me. I'm surprised I never got shot at. I had a gun drawn on me or threatened in any way. Actually, I was threatened before. Years ago. There was this family. I guess I start revealing things now. I guess I could start revealing locations now. It don't fucking matter anymore. There's this family in Pearland. All right. They had I'm not going to reveal names. I don't want them to be, whatever. Little kids were involved. The concern was about the living conditions of the home. And the dad might be selling weed. The dad was in a tree cutting business. That's what they take, tree cutting business, but wasn't sure what exactly it was. The hospital called it in. Due to concerns cleanliness of the kids when they're at the hospital. And at this particular address where they lived, this trailer, I gotta say, when I went there, the trailer was kind of a shithole. The trailer was in a bad condition. Like there's junk in the front yard, and like the door was wide open. You can't enter a residence without permission. So I did walk up the steps, and the door was open, so I could see that the inside was very weird. It was like there was normally like a trailer, you have that kitchen area, the living room area, and usually the door's right there at the kitchen and the living room. Okay. And then there's usually a hallway that goes to the bedrooms. The hallway looked like it was boarded up for some reason. And like the floor was caving in. But there was nobody there. There was no one. Well, I continued going back to that place. And then I found out, oh, there is somebody there. The grandfather and grandmother. The grandmother I never saw. But the grandfather I did. And I kept on going, I think 3 or 4 times. And the guy was fucking annoyed. It got to the point to where he's like, get off my fucking yard. And I was like, all right. Oh, God. All right. I'm just messing. All right. So you guys have questions. I guess going back to the story of why I got resigned. Why did the family lie? Now, as far as why do families lie, I don't know exactly. Maybe then why did the grandma lie to the hospital and to CPS about my help with them? Maybe she didn't want to take blame. I don't know. Maybe she didn't want to take responsibility. But I don't know. I thought it was weird that the grandmother was lying about not having Medicaid the whole time when she had it. I don't know why I tried to censor myself there. She had it the whole time. So go back to that. I had a talk with the supervisor, talk with the program director, and I did try to advocate for myself. I was pretty pissed that this was happening. I was on Friday towards the end of my shift. I just had another family assessment, Spanish speaking one, and I got the translator there and everything. There's a paper trail. After I did that assessment, I got an email from my supervisor saying that no, like everyone is saying you weren't even there. It's like, well, I don't know what to tell you, Miss Jackson. Sorry, Miss Jackson. I don't know what to tell you. It sounded like what you're saying. I made everything up. That I knew all those little details. I just made it all up. She's like, we'll talk about it on Monday. So I knew this was coming. My wife kind of sensed something was wrong, but I didn't tell her anything until yesterday when it was final. Because I didn't know. Thought maybe there was a chance I could try to explain what happened. Maybe advocate for myself more. Tell them, look, man, I've been here for 7 years. You think I'm just making this stuff up? I mean, you guys thought I was supervisor material. I went out to fucking Conroe and helped out over there multiple times. How many times did I get a buttload of cases and took care of them, right? Man, I maintained like a 10 caseload, man. I never had more than 15 cases on my workload unless they were dumped on me and then I did cleanup work. Call out the family. Oh yeah, it called out a family that had a case of sitting there for like almost a year, and they're wondering, oh, we thought that case was closed. Surprise, surprise, it's not. But we make the contact, we talk to you guys, talk with the kids again, go through it all, and then we'll work on closing it. That was always my pitch. And I'm kind of a nice guy, have a nice tone, so usually families work with me. As much as I would like to say, families shouldn't really work with CPS, especially if you really think they're going to come for you, even though you know your rights. Let's say like in the state of Texas, where you have the right to discipline your kids and you spanked your kids and you left a mark and you think they're going to come for you and use that against you, because CPS will use that against you, even though the law in Texas says you can do that and that's your right. I would probably say don't cooperate. Get a lawyer as soon as possible. But when you talk to a worker that has a nice, friendly tone of voice, is saying he's honest, and I don't just say I'm honest, because you don't believe that. If someone says, you can trust me, that's like, I don't trust that. But you be open with them. You let them know that you don't particularly like what's happening to you. You let them know you're kind of on their side in a way. They'll work with you. I've done a lot of that. But so Saturday I was pissed, but I kept it to myself. Sunday I was more in the acceptance stage, I guess, thinking, oh, what's going to happen next? Maybe I'll start DoorDash. I knew immediately I was going to do DoorDash for a little bit while I find something else. I don't know what I'm going to find. Guys, I got to be honest with you. I have no idea what I'm going to find. I do not know. I'm a little worried about that. I am a little worried. Am I going to be another fucking internet locale? What do I have to do? Right? I mean, Gothic King fucking Cobra makes more goddamn money than me on YouTube. What the fuck am I doing? Maybe I need to make some wands. Dude, I'll make some fucking wands. That's goddamn dude. I'm pissed. This Rant and Chill channel has potential. I'll do streams talking about more Japanese oriented stuff and talking more about Japanese bands and And I think it will go well. I think it will go well. All right? Sorry, I'm shifting topics. Just let me know if I am. I know I'm kind of ignoring the chat. I see it scrolling slowly, but sorry, I'm all over the place right now. I had a therapy session yesterday. You know, like marriage counseling. Everything's good. We talked about communication. Communication is down. My wife brought up that on Saturday she tried to ask me how I felt, but like I wasn't really talking to her. And she's right, I wasn't. I told her everything was fine. Things weren't fine. Things were not fine. Dude, Sunday, during the before the barbecue when I was cooking, there was a couple times, man, my anxiety was so high, my blood pressure, I'm sure it was my blood pressure. Dude, I felt like I was gonna fucking faint. Dude, because I was like, dude, we're gonna be fucking jobless. We're gonna be fucking hobos. Be living under the overpass on El Dorado, giving head for $20 a. Fuck, god damn it. I go to the extremes. She's right. So Monday I got fired. Well, I was going to get fired. Monday was, you either resign or we're going to fire you. Well, if they fired me, I would have got unemployment. That would have helped for a little bit. Then I would have like a mark on my resume, I suppose. So I took the unmark. I didn't want to have that mark behind me, so I resigned. And immediately, like within the next hour, I signed up for DoorDash and did all that stuff. And then I told my wife what happened, told my mom what happened, told my dad what happened. Everyone was caught off guard, you know, but the whole thing, as much as I was. My mom and dad say I should get like an attorney and fight for this, but what they don't know is that the cards are against me here, and the evidence that would support me is on the fucking state phone, on the state equipment. I'm pretty sure that stuff's been wiped already. So the evidence to support me has already been gone. So I have nothing. The only thing I have now is actually, as stressful as talks about this is, and stressful as thinking about my current situation, it's actually a relief of a lot of stress. I no longer have to worry about all these hand grenades I've been juggling. And you know what? You know what's fucked about that job, working for CPS? Even if you're doing everything right, anytime something could go fucking south and you lose your job. Anytime. Let's say you worked a case. Something simple, like you talked about, like disciplinary issues or whatever. I don't know, maybe it's like a 5, 6, 8-year-old, whatever. Okay, talk about disciplinary issues, okay? But let's say later on there's a case because the kid, like I said, the 5-year-old fell down the stairs, like he tripped and fell down the stairs and got a concussion so bad or whatever, a head trauma so bad that he died. Okay, he dies, so the kids get taken out of and that generates a new case where the kids get taken out of the home, because anytime there's a child fatality, they're instantly taken out, even though it probably was an accident, even though if they investigated it was probably just an accident, you know, but they're not going to go there, you know. What they'll do though, as the previous caseworker, they're going to ask you what you did and didn't do to prevent that death, and if it's not good enough, they're going to get rid of you. If there's pressure, if there's external pressure outside for something to happen, if they need a sacrifice, if they need a blood sacrifice, they'll get rid of your ass. They'll get rid of your fucking ass. So for all the Texas taxpayers there. Thank you so much for providing for me, paying for my salary while you did. It's over. It's over. I know, guys. I haven't been paying attention to the chat. I'm just telling these stories. Let me do a quick shout out. And guys, can we? Hey, if you haven't subbed to this channel already, go ahead and sub. Let's get this to 1,000 sub stream. Anyway, for everyone there right now, Ace Vendetta Flight Clips, how's it going? How's it going? Chris Cushman, how's it going? Enjoys Random. I hope you're enjoying this. Indigo Childsum, Lit for Nothing, Necro Gekito, Singed Halo, and Steve. And Steve, I agree. We do not like CPS. All right. So, let me take a look if there was any like questions that he had for me that I just totally overlooked. Let's see. Did you ever sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement? No. I mean, I can't talk about what's confidential by law. Like, you know, reveal. I'm not going to talk about like I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to reveal names or any details that are actually going to locate and pinpoint people. Can't do that. I'll talk about like in vague terms. I can't reveal who the specific reporter is on any particular case. Like the other example, I said hospital. What hospital? You know, we have no idea, right? We don't even know who at the hospital. Grossly Offensive did this? No. No internet drama. Jake the Snake didn't do this. Maybe it is. Devin likes the fake live streams. No, this is not pre-recorded. This is real. How's Miss D taking it? Well, she was a little annoyed. Kind of pissed that I didn't tell her from the get-go. On Saturday, when I knew what was going to happen, when I was going to go down on Monday, we were at a Space Center Houston trying to have a good time. Okay? I was showing my son and daughter the propaganda of the fake moon landing. I don't know if it's fake. I don't think it's fake. You know, because you go there, I wasn't convinced by the props and all. I was more like convinced like the timeline of everything and how long we've been like shooting stuff into space and playing around with it. Oh. But you know, Earth is flat, it's all fake. That's all an op. That's a massive op there. Josh gets a lot of free food. He does. Oh, yeah, Gothic King Cobra does get a lot of free food. Well, you guys know, sue for wrongful termination. In the state of Texas, that's going to be really hard to do. Especially when it was the state of Texas that fired me. I don't know. Mr. DoorDash man. Yeah, I did. So I did DoorDash for like 2 hours. And with the 2 hours, it'd be like $36. I'll do it more. I was going to actually do it more this week. But then the therapy session, the therapist like, why don't you take a break? Why don't you take a moment to like, just chill, like just think about where you are, because it doesn't seem like you really process your feelings on this, and I haven't really. It's like right from the beginning, it was like, how am I gonna make some money while trying to find another job? And I told my wife, and I told the therapist, like, yeah, emotions are important and all that, but it's like, what are emotions going to do? Boo-hoo-hoo, I'm sad, you know, everything's bad. I'm just going to immediately start hustling, and I have to shove dildos up my ass on OnlyFans for money. I have a line. I have a limit. I say that. We'll see what happens. Deadman is truly dead now. Mike Lewis, yes, I'm dead inside. I do feel it. What will you do if CPS comes to your house mess with you? I will do what I would recommend any family do. You say no. You say no. You say no. See, no, you got to be very careful too. You say no, and you say, don't talk to my kids at school. Don't you dare. And you know what? You have to record that stuff, because these workers, what they'll do is they'll say no and don't talk to my kids at school, which means you can't talk to the kids at school. Okay? Here's the thing about CPS. All right, here, I guess we'll move on from why I resigned and all that in my current situation to revealing some truths and facts about CPS in Texas. And then we'll move into Lovebites stuff. Sorry. Drinking some coffee. All right. So, before I give you this information, if you are really, hitting your kids in a way that would be abusive. Oh, Chris Cushman, thank you so much for the dono. Sorry you lost your job, but it sounds like you dodged a bullet. Yeah, thank you. 999 subscribers. Let's get it to 1,000. Let's get it to 1,000, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. We could do it, man. We could do it. I think this channel has potential. I think it does. The other channel, it's like saturated in like internet drama stuff and some stupid back and forth with some stupid autistic like samurai guy or whatever. That stuff ain't coming over here. Okay. Over here, it's chill, it's cool, whatever. Over there on Mr. Devin DT, it's like, it feels like different. Anyway. I'm gonna say before I give you this information, if you are really abusing your kids, that's what. Don't do that. Come on, man. Come on. Like the parents that are actually really doing drugs. I don't want to say really doing drugs. I mean, like especially hard drugs around the kids and all that. No, like that's a factor. Like that's a serious issue. Especially if like doing meth and heroin or fentanyl, whatever, doing stuff that could really compromise and really, like if they die and compromise the safety of the kids. If there's, okay, I'll stop there. But what I'm saying is, there are people out there that do some fucked up shit that do present danger to their kids. They create a home that is not safe. However, if you're doing everything right, as you believe you are, you're not hurting your kids, you're not abusing your kids. Do you spank? You're in the state of Texas, you can spank. You're in the state of Texas, you do have the permission. You have the right, not the permission, the right to discipline your kids with corporal punishment. You can do that right in front of a cop. Now, the cop may not understand the law, as sometimes cops do get confused, right? We ran into an officer before, or have heard stories where police officers think they're above the law or seem ignorant of the law, and then they take things in their own way. But you have that right. You can hit them with the belt, okay? Now, where CPS gets in, or the family code gets in, is the statute for abuse, for physical abuse, as a... Well, let me just read the statute, right? Let me just read the statute. That'd be great. The key word in the statute is substantial harm. Substantial harm. All right. Physical abuse. A physical injury that results in substantial harm to the child, such as bruises, fractures, or death. Now, that's not the actual statute. That's some. Let me just get the actual statute there, because the statute doesn't say bruises. In fact, the statute isn't very specific on what kind of injury, other than substantial harm, and that could create some wiggle room. What does substantial harm mean? Well, this kind of explains while CPS may overreact at times and may underreact at times, because it's kind of vague. What does substantial harm mean? To me, it doesn't mean a bruise, like, but a bruise where? Like if it's a bruise on the rear end, all right, that's not substantial harm. You got spanked, kid. Okay, you got spanked. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have a conversation with you and your parents about why you got spanked. Maybe there's something you didn't do. Okay, and also I'll talk to your parents. Be like, hey, let's try to use different discipline methods. You know, maybe grounding, or maybe try rewards or something. Try an incentive plan. You know, be careful with the physical discipline, as it could, you know, mandatory reporters are obligated to report by law if they hear about a bruise or whatever. So, you know, just avoid that. Now, if it's a bruise on the face, whoa, okay. Like if it's a big purple bruise right here, it's like, oh crap, son, what happened to you? Did you get slapped in the face by a bear? I had a case like that. That, no bueno, not good. That right there would be a problem. That there would be a problem. But if you're doing things right and you just, you know, you use physical discipline to a point, and you leave spanks on the rear end, bruise on the rear end, I would say, if you're the way, if you get a case regarding that, the reason why you would is because your kid probably said something at school, okay? Whether to get back at you or just because they did, you know, kids do stupid stuff at times. What you could do there, depending on if the CPS worker calls you in advance and tells you this is an alternative response case, we received safety concerns, what you can do then with those style of cases is say, okay, do not talk to my kid at school. Because if you tell them that, they're not supposed to, by law, talk to your kid at school. It would be illegal for them to do that. They can only talk to your kid at school without your permission, without getting it first. They don't see the caseworkers. They don't have to ask for your permission to talk to your kid at school. But if you tell them, don't talk to my kid at school, they can't do it. It'd be illegal. They're not supposed to anyway. Do workers do it? Oh, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they fucking do. I can tell you firsthand they fucking do. I never did it. That's no. You're playing with fire there, you're playing with the game. I don't want that. So that's if they call you in advance. And then when you tell them don't talk to my kid at school, you could on that style of case, you could cooperate and it should be fine. It should be fine. Like, you're not really going to have any issues there. Because with an alternative response case, really parents have a lot of power. Parents have a lot of power that I don't think they understand. Once it shifts to an investigation, if it ever does, or like if you don't cooperate and they shift it to a traditional investigation, then CPS may try to get a court order to see your kid. And that could create some issues, right? Because if it's like poker. You don't know what the hand is. Like, you don't know what's documented in that report. All right, you don't know what they have. They might have something. They might have something in that report that would convince a judge. They might have a reporter that saw something that might convince a judge. But you don't know. The best thing to do would to cooperate a little bit. At least have the front that you're trying to cooperate as much as possible. While if you need to create the front to where you're look like you're cooperating as much as possible. That way you could kind of control what happens. Because with an alternative response case, they'll talk with the family, they'll talk with the kids in front of the family, and then they'll ask to talk with the kids privately. And then you could say, sure, yeah, you could do that. Or you could say, no, usually it's going to be at your house or whatever, wherever you're at. And it's totally up to you there. The reason I'm suggesting that is because if you were to say no from the jump street, let's say it's an alternative response case and they call you up and they say, we have these safety concerns, we need to arrange a meeting. You say, don't talk to my kids at school, and no, I'm not cooperating. Well, now it's going to shift to a traditional case. And what if they have something? What if they have something in that report? Okay, you don't really know. Like, I'm trying to look at this from a parent's perspective and knowing how CPS operates. You don't know what they have, so you're playing you're gambling there. You know, you're playing a chance, taking a chance there. Because let's say there is actually a bruise on your kid on the rear end. All right, and they get a court order. They go to the school. They talk to your kid, and they, with leading questions, they get your kid to say all sorts of stuff, and then they take a picture of his butt, and there's a big bruise there, and they're like, "Oh my God, you know, we're gonna have to remove this kid or something crazy." You know, you lost it. You know, because you're not going to be contacted by anything until after all that is done. Now, if you, that's if the case started as an alternative response case. If the case started as a traditional case, you're not going to know anything. If the investigation started as a traditional investigation, you're not going to know that your kids have been spoken to until after the fact, if they're at school. They're going to be seen at school. 100%. What you could do, okay, to plan for that, to prepare for that, because kids do say things to get back at parents. Depends on the kid, right? There's some kids were like, if you do have to physically discipline, you do have to spank them sometimes, they might, depending on your child, you know how they operate, they might try to one up you to get back at you. I mean, they're pissed. They're grounded from Roblox or Minecraft. You know, they have everything taken away, the computer taken away. They've been spanked. They're mad. They tell the teacher, because, you know, they tell teachers everything. And then the teacher will ask all sorts of questions. They might get confused about things because maybe you do drink, but you don't drink every day. But next thing you know, the child is saying you drink every day, and oh my God, it's horrible. So it gets portrayed. You could plan ahead. I mean, you could talk to your son about how, like, you know, this year that happened, this stays with us. Okay, I do believe that families should have that talk with their kids, not to encourage people to abuse their kids, but to really to protect families, because once you get, you know, the government, the agency involved, once you get CPS involved, you don't know what's going to happen, right? You can kind of predict the moves, but you don't really know. And I think it's better to plan ahead and be safe. You know, some people will hear this information I'm giving and be like, well, what if people that are actually abusing their kids use it? Well, you know, I already give that little disclaimer in the beginning. Then I hope they don't. I mean, potentially they could, but I would rather families protect themselves. And the families that are really doing wrong, they will be exposed for what they're doing. I mean, if the kid's being punched in the face, I mean, that bruise can be seen by everybody. You know, if the kid comes to school with a black eye, that's going to be seen by everybody, and that's going to be no bueno. That's going to be, like, you know, removal territory or, you know, something like that. But yeah, that's some stuff. I think what I'm going to do in the future is kind of plan some CPS reveals, some talking points, some things to focus on and have more focused streams. That's what we're going to do. All right. That's what we're going to freaking do in the coming future. This channel is going to shift. I'll still do the Japanese metal and J-pop reactions and that stuff. Still talk about particular bands. Still do the rant and chill stuff. But I think also gonna be spilling the beans about CPS. Gonna be trying to warn parents about what they can do to protect themselves from CPS. All right. So there's that. Now, before I move, I guess, on to Lovebites, any questions about, do you guys have any questions about CPS? About just general? Do a Kino Casino type thing with DJ Axel? Well, now I don't have to worry about the image of working with a with a supposed pedo. Now I guess it don't matter, right? Fuck. Unless I'm trying to get a freaking job. Kino Casino on what? Internet drama? Maybe I'll have him on as co-host of the next Gun Wave. We'll do that. How many cases do you think have no actual merit in the system? Oh, that is a great question. Great question. Dude, there are a lot of cases that are... There are a lot of cases that aren't actually, like, they don't really have any grounds. Like, there's... Dude, I worked... Okay, you asked for a number, though. You asked for a number. Man. Wow. I would have to say the majority of my cases, because I only actually had 7 years I worked there. I've only done, I think, 4 or 5 removals, and those were justified, and I will explain them in the future. Okay, I know you probably may not believe that, but, and I've had some family-based referrals, and of course safety plans. I would say, but I want to, dude, it's like a small percentage. I want to say like 25% actually were like legit serious stuff. The rest of it, the 75% of the cases were a mixed bag of false reporting, like intentional false reporting, just making stuff up out of spite. I worked some cases. I worked a case in particular where an A-log of a podcast. Dude, okay. I worked a case where an A-log of some podcast, some political podcasts here in Texas, caught in on the mom who hosted that podcast or whatever. Okay, that was a bunch of crap. And then I worked a number of cases based on social media posts. I worked a case where this people on the internet thought this baby was being suffocated with some sort of like face mask thing, because we'll get into that too. But that turned out to be nothing. It was like a pacifier, just fine, and it was like the face. It wasn't even a face mask. It was like a little, like a knitted, like the mom had knitted like this little band thing where you can just kind of keep it right there, and they called it the Bane mask, and the child could breathe right through it. It's fine. It was not obstructing the nose or anything. Fine. You know, normally when a little infant has a pacifier right there, they're not breathing through their mouth anyway. They're breathing through their nose. So it's like perfectly fine. No issues. You're fine. I work a lot of custody cases, and I hated those cases. Dude, I am relieved I don't have to worry about that shit anymore. I'm relieved I don't have to worry about any of that fucking shit anymore. Yeah, majority of them are overreactions. Schools will call in for anything to protect their ass. Okay, if a school hears that a child was physically disciplined, they're making a report. Even if there was if a bruise or not, they're making a report. And a lot of them are fluff. A lot of them are just bullshit. So, you know, thinking about that, the amount of money that CPS workers make, which is actually more than I think they're qualified for, that money could be halved. And, you know, I'm not for like, you know, basic income, or is it, what do they call that? Dang it, what do they call that thing? Where everyone gets a guaranteed check or whatever. Why is it not? My mind's drawing a blank right now. I'm not really for that, you know, but if the state of Texas were to do that, it could lift some families out of poverty, which, I hate to sound like, you know, a leftist or whatever, but it is true in that some families, you know, poverty does create an issue to where some issues could happen. But it depends. It depends on the poverty, right? Like some families are poor, but they actually have jobs and they're trying their hardest to provide for their kids and they're doing things right. Is their trailer a little messy? Yes. Is their front yard a little messy? Yes. But you know what? They're doing well. They're doing fine. Okay, there is government assistance available, and they use that too. But they're fine with the kids. They have a good home. Okay, but then there's families that are poor because they're spending money on drugs or things they don't need. Look, if you don't have a steady income, don't have a job, maybe that's not the time to be binge drinking and smoking weed and doing meth and all that stuff. We'll get more into that in future streams. That shit could wreck a family. What do you say? Do your Shada Casino show. No. ZXV, as much as I think you trying to bust my balls. No, Shota, if you like Shota, you deserve cancer. So the problem with working with DJ Axel is I don't know if he really is into lolly stuff. If he really is a lolly person, I can't work with him. That's just that. Okay. The front page of Kiwi Farms always has some content. Yeah, it does. Big Dad Giga Chad, couldn't you say you look like showing met them? Also, they don't have us to sign anything. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did say what they look like. I described it in the freak, dude. It was described in my narrative. I described what they look like. I described what the kids look like. But it's all fucked. It's all fucked. I mean, I leave voicemails. When I call. Let's say when I call the reporter, because there's been a couple times where Miss Jackson talked to me about not contacting the reporter. But it's like, dude, I left a voicemail on the reporter's voicemail. What are you talking about? But it's like, okay, well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I'll talk to him. One area that I was bad at, though, I'll tell you this. One area that I was bad at times was, you go through a lot of cases. And sometimes I would be behind on turning in the actual file, which, like, the letters would be mailed out to notify the parents that their case has been closed, or they'll call them and text them. But the file itself might be, if it's in my drawer, if it's at the desk, I'll turn it in, whatever. But a lot of times, man, you're going through so many cases so fast. Like, a lot of my stuff was not in an actual file per se, but like I would have like my notes, my notepad. Dude, I could show you my notepads. It's like, I use like the small ones, so it's easy, portable, walk around, whatever. I have all my information there. People need a contact and stuff, and the rest like digital, like on the phone. There's many times where I used the phone to take notes and get information or whatever. So I would, the case is sent, it's closed, the actual file not. So yeah, that was an issue. That was an issue that I had to talk about, and that was no good. But that doesn't really affect the family. Because unless they want a copy of the report, which they don't really get. You have to subpoena me for that report, which by then it's like, okay. But generally, like, what's in the report is going to be like the narrative, the thing that I put everything in anyway. That's what they would give. I thought that was kind of silly. Because generally speaking, when you put things in a file, like handwritten notes and stuff, they all get shredded. The only thing that really stays in the report is the actual report itself, which then it's like, well, why don't you guys just print out the report if it's requested? Like, it seems kind of silly, but whatever. That part kind of, had some issues with, but nothing big. I never had a disciplinary action or anything. It's over with now. It's over with now. I mean, dude, that was my area of cutting corners. I guarantee you, every worker has an area where they cut corners just to stay afloat, just to keep cases, just to stay on top of their cases, because there's so much shit you have to do. And a lot of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. A lot of it's policy. Like, man, they'll assign you cases when you're off. You could be out sick and they'll give you a case. You could be out on vacation and they'll give you a case, right? It don't fucking matter. It don't fucking matter. They don't care about you. They don't have your back. They don't have your support. You're just a cog in the system. You're just a, you are a soldier for them. You're a tool. No, you're not even a soldier. You're a tool. That's what you are. You're a fucking tool. You're a fucking tool, and they'll disregard you the moment you stop working. Chillin, you missed a lot. You missed a lot. Now I'm going on to Lovebites stuff. I guess I have Lovebites in the header, and this channel is Rant and Chill. Okay. You guys know what Lovebites is? It's a really good band. I really do recommend them. A little bit of progressive metal, but very much more like new wave British heavy metal. Think Iron Maiden. Okay, they do have like an Iron Maiden sound to them. Oh, they even have songs that legitly sound like paying homage to Iron Maiden, like the Crusade. The Crusade, is that the one? I think that's the one. Yeah, the Crusade. Oh man, let me Google it. Hold on. Yeah, Lovebites Crusade. That's the one that sounds like Aces High. It really does. It really does. But really good band, really good group. And if you paid attention to this channel, you know I really do enjoy them quite a bit. Kind of fell into it. You know, got a jersey here. Got a Blu-ray thing coming in eventually. And did a live stream where I talked about every single song, did a tier list of it. Well, they had a hiatus for a while because their bassist resigned, bassist left, which is weird because the starting figures of this band of Lovebites was the bassist and the drummer. They're the core. They're the core. They're the ones who you know started it. So I always find that kind of interesting when the core members leave. You know what's going on there. And the bassist, her name is Miho. So right now they don't have a bassist. They're looking for a bassist. There hasn't really been any word about if there is a bassist potential, if there's been any auditions or anything. Some people kind of speculate maybe some bad's going to happen, but you know I don't think so, because there's been some photos of them actually in practice sessions, so they are doing something. They're still together, which is great, because the thing with Japanese bands is they come and go real fast. Especially if you know Lovebites stems from Destros. If you know what Destros is, they're a Japanese all-female band that, dude, they never really had stability when it comes to members. Members came and go. They came and went. But Lovebites spawned from that. Let's see. So yeah, that's what some people I guess are kind of worried. Maybe it's not a stable act. Maybe they will disband. But I think they'll stay together. I mean, they play well. Man, they're well received, well liked. I know, Chad, you probably love this stuff, huh? It's kind of like when Jim talks about manga and anime. Oh, I'm gonna turn this shelf, and all these shelves is gonna have nothing but like J metal stuff. You know, that's what it's gonna be. Let me tell you about Gotrek Spin and Bandmade. Now, about Lovebites, though, what I wanted to say is, for those that know Lovebites, my question is, who do you think is going to replace the bases? There's clearly speculation. Right now it could really be anyone. I mean, we have no idea. Mary's Blood is on a hiatus, so the bassist from that band, Rio, it could be her. It could be. There's a bassist from from a band called Girlfriend. Let me show you her right here. I think she would do fine. Let me put it on the screen here. Well, yeah. Let me kill the background music. I think this bassist would do fine, but what she plays here in this sample is more like, it doesn't really sound like Lovebites material. It sounds more like Gotrek Spin or something. But I think she. Yeah. So she has a really good slap right there. She has really good flow on the bass. I think she would be fine. Whoa. And she played with Iron Bunny. I did not even know that. Okay. That's right. She played with Iron Bunny. Dude, she could have potential. Wait, was that actually playing with them, or was that just a background screen? I don't know. Like, was that just a green screen? I think that was real. I think that was legit. Correct me if I'm wrong there. But there's speculation. It could be her. I think she would be a good fit. I think she would. I don't know how long she would stay for. Let's see. It could be Fate Gear lost the basis. Erica could be Erica. Erica could be picked up by Lovebites, maybe. And if you don't know what Fate Gear is, here's Fate Gear right here. Okay, I do like Fate Gear. I just don't like them as much as others. They also are like the result of Destros. They kind of spawn from Destros. Okay, I don't like them as much as Lovebites, but I do like them. This. I'll play a little bit of this because I'm sure it will be picked up if it hasn't already. I mean, this song may not be a great example for as bass. I think a great example. Well, I can't play too much, right? I'm not on Twitch. If I was on Twitch, it wouldn't matter. Hell, on Twitch you could just play full-on TV shows and movies. It doesn't freaking matter. One day Twitch is gonna be hit with some major lawsuits, or something's gonna happen in the back scene. I don't know. I guess I'll still stream over there. I don't know. I mean, I'm like $50 away from receiving a payout, so I don't know. Okay. So yeah, that's my Lovebites talk right there. Like, I'm curious what's gonna happen with the bases. Are they gonna find a new bassist? Well, I think they will. Who is the bassist going to be? Is it going to be Erica? Is it going to be Mina? Is it going to be Rio? Is it going to be somebody else that we haven't even named? As far as the other question, as far as like if they're going to be, they're actually still together, they're going to actually play. I think they're going to be fine. I think that part's going to be fine. I look forward to hearing more Lovebites. Okay. Yeah. All right. So to summarize this stream. Yes, I'm now jobless, so I could really use y'all's support. But when we do like Dark Side Feel and Beg, God, man, On Friday, when I knew this was going to happen, I was ready to get on my bike and drive off a cliff. But there aren't any fucking cliffs over here. So what am I going to do? Drive into an 18-wheeler? I don't want to ruin an 18-wheeler. I don't want to ruin a big rig. They need to go protest. Okay? But the other thing is, my kids need their dad. That's the thing. I need it. I just need it. Just it's not the end. It's not the end. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's not over with. We also talked about a little bit of CPS stuff. I'll do streams where I kind of focus more on specific areas. And then, we talked about Lovebites. All right. Well, with that said, guys, y'all take it easy. And thank you so much for watching and y'all support. Y'all have a good one.